Welcome to part 2 of making a box for my chocolate wrapper collection. And we're on to day 4 of the build. Now that my dad's off work, I can do my work in the shed, which is good. It's a lot easier to do it in here. So you can take the clamps off of these, off the top and bottom. And I'm going to trace out the bit that goes inside the top to hold the lid in place. I'm going to trace that out onto the thing, I'm going to put the box frame on top, and then I'll make it so that make sure that it's in exactly the right place. Pull it off the top, and then you just gotta make it completely sure that it's going to work, and then just hold it down and trace around it. Let's go glue that on. Okay, I'll just use that same 502 wood adhesive. I think it's waterproof. And then we can glue it on. I've got it penciled out on there so that I know exactly where to put it. I'm just spreading the glue onto the piece of wood with a nail. It's a nice ended nail. Yeah. I'm just squiggling it. I don't know why I did that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the actual board itself, just inside the lines. And then I will put on the top carefully to make sure it goes in exactly the right place. And I can clamp that on. I'm running out of music here. I have recorded a lot of music, and I've downloaded a lot of music from the YouTube audio library, and I've used quite a bit, and now I'm out. I don't know what to do. I have a couple of iMovie tracks that I can use, but still. I'll just clamp that on and leave it to dry. Good. Hopefully that works. I'm just going to do what I said I was going to do. I'm going to glue this on to the bottom. Just use the nail. Put on a nice thick layer so that it actually adheres. Hopefully you won't have to do all this because you aren't a terrible pallet wood cutter, or just a terrible wood cutter with a handsaw, and you don't have much experience, but we learn from our mistakes. Hopefully you don't have to learn. And just wipe off the glue from the sides to make sure that you don't, yeah. And then we can flip it over, make sure it's the right side, and then pop that on. Put it on the bottom of that that nice piece of wood. Yeah. And then put on this piece of wood on the top. Nice 2x3-ish. Put on the F-clamps. The reason I'm using F-clamps is they're very strong. Also make sure that your wood doesn't move around. Just trying to find a way to get this on here. And don't worry, that wood is very thick, so it won't break if I do this. Especially down on the holy part. We use that for napkin rings. And we'll just leave that for a few days to cure. And hopefully that works. So I went to try and glue this, but the problem is, if you look at that gap right there, it's not going to work. That's what it's like when you push it down all the way on the other side, and that's what it's like. Yeah, it's a terrible gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these F-clamps, I'm going to try this, and just glue like a try gluing it. I'll glue it like a brace, like take these F-clamps, I'll glue it on. So I will do that, and then I will put these pieces of wood on, this underneath and this on top. Use F-clamps, clamp it down nice and hard, and leave that for several days, and hopefully that works. So we better get going. Just dip your brush in the thing and then put a slight layer on the top. That's basically what you do. Just put a layer on the top like that. Make sure you're getting all the cracks and along, especially in the end grain. The top looks especially lovely because there's a knot on the other side, on the top part, so that will be visible and it'll look so nice. There's also a knot in the bottom of the lid. See, right there at the top of the screen, there's a big knot. There's a couple of knots in the top. Yeah, it does look nice, especially once you get oil on it. Wow, that is so beautiful. I love pallet wood, especially once it's been oiled. And I'm just going to wipe off the excess with a paper towel. This makes the wood extra hard and protected, sort of, from pallets. Not that it'll be outside, but yeah. So, now that that's all glued up, hopefully that works. It looks a bit weird, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I did make that comment earlier in the video about how the pallet wood wasn't straight, and it was not straight at all. It was very, yeah, it made it impossible to glue it, so hopefully this works. I had my dad out here helping me. It helped a bit. Tried to just pull it back to normal just by doing this without this here, but we tried that didn't really work, so he suggested trying gluing this in on top and then leaving it like that for a few days, and hopefully that works. So if it does, I have to say a huge thank you to my dad. If it doesn't, oh well, we'll have to do something else instead. Well, yeah, just leave that to dry for a couple of days, and yeah, we'll be fine, hopefully. So, I think I'm going to oil the top, the lid, while I'm waiting. I'm going to use olive oil. This olive oil looks a bit weird, I don't know why. It like makes some new eco thingy. Just use olive oil, it works really well. Really hard, makes the wood really hard. And I've got this thick paintbrush. I'm just going to brush it on and leave it to cure for a couple of days. So, yeah. And now I'm just going to use the oil to oil the box. Same way as before, just brush it on as well as you can. Not too thick though, and that should work. Also again, just make sure to be able to work it into the end grain as well as you can. And yeah. Make sure to get it into any little nail holes. That's my little brother. He's inquisitive, he likes watching and learning. And there's my baby sister again. In pink as usual, she likes wearing pink. Then I have another little sister who just poked her teal arm in, aqua armor in, if you saw that. And the next day after the
done this overnight. I think it works. Let's see. Put it on the
It's
tripod.
done now. You need to make sure you don't have too much dust in it. And then I'm just going to wipe off the excess
and the lid is
and
cured
with
as
a
well.
paper towel.
That looks like a box to me. Let's try the lid. Yes, it worked! That won't move around. And it's a pretty nice box and it still fits even though it's been flattened. Okay, let's oil the box. And then we can put some felt on the bottom of the box so it doesn't scratch the surface.
And the next day we're going to put the felt on the bottom. Just trace that around the box. And then cut it out. I'm going to cut about 1.5 centimeters inside the lines. And I'm going to glue that on. It's just normal washable PVA. It is very, very, very watery because when my dad refilled it, he put too much water in. But, whatever. It works well for this because it soaks into the felt. I'm going to put some cling film on the top. I would use parchment paper, greaseproof paper, but we don't have any at the moment. We're out, so I'm going to put a board on top and clamp that on to hold it down. And just clamp that down with the quick grips. And that's good. Hopefully that works. And going to the last day of the build. Dry. And my chocolate wrappers are a very good place for it, so I'm just going to put them in the box. This is your new home. They have a new home. And by the way, if you've watched the whole 50 minutes of the video of me making a lot of mistakes with my box, you are my hero. Well done. You can play it this far. Well done if you haven't. Just I hope you've enjoyed this video. And we can bring it inside and put it in its designated home. Get rid of that Odabix box, we don't need that. And thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I put a lot of effort into this. It took me ages to do all the editing. And thank you for watching so much.